Gems of wisdom from metaphors, research, and ancient teachings. The philosophy.
Welcome back, friends. Today is another one of those doozies about fear. How do you get over the fear of other people's opinions? The thought that, oh man, other people are going to be judging me for whatever it is that I desire to do, or maybe for who I am. This can be super debilitating. It can be crippling. And I've met people that sing the songs of regret. I wish I would have. If only I could have. What would it have been like if I had? Now, because I love you, I cannot let you keep living like that. It's time. It's time to let go of that BS story that's holding you back. Because here's something I know for sure, is that people that you're afraid of, the funny thing is that people that you're afraid of are afraid of other people. Wait, let me say that again. People that you're afraid of are afraid of other people. Isn't that weird to think about that? It's like nobody really can rise above that if they're in that. So if I'm thinking, oh man, I hope this person doesn't judge me, or man, I think they're not going to like this about me, it creates a story that disconnects us from other people. Sometimes the reason why we begin to fear other people's opinions is because perhaps we've had a bad experience, like with one person or a group of people. And so we can start to generalize, like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get real on this video. You ready? Ready for me to get real? Buckle in, because this is some real shit I'm about to say. So, you might know this about me, I speak Spanish. So I'm fully bilingual. Actually, in our house, we speak Spanish. En caso de que están pensando, puede ser cierto, o sea, sí lo habla o sí no lo habla, o quién es ella, para cómo lo habla, no puede ser. Okay, so in case you're wondering what I just said, I was like, in case you're out there and you're wondering, is it true? Does she really speak? Blah, blah, blah. How well does she speak? Like, I just thought I'd cut to the chase. Let you know, full Spanish in mi casa. Now, I had this belief because of an experience that I had. Isn't it true that sometimes we can have a bad experience and then we can generalize over an entire group, and then that can make us afraid of the opinions of that group. You follow me? You with me? Okay. I had a negative experience. I was helping or desired to help a group of primarily Latino leaders in our community. There were some things that I probably approached wrong, whatever. I made up a story from that experience that I couldn't help or shouldn't speak into the Latin community. So I had this belief that I couldn't or shouldn't, it was bad for me to speak into and relate with people that are Latin American, Mexican American, etc., etc. So we have one experience, and then we begin to generalize that, okay, all people of, Latin origin are not going to relate with me. I know, or they're not going to think I'm worthy of speaking into them, or they're going to whatever. I had a belief. I know. You're like, Natalie, that's stupid. Well, here's the thing. If we actually put voice to our beliefs, sometimes we can figure them out on our own, because the beliefs aren't founded. They're based on fears. Fear from one negative experience. Now, the crazy thing is at that same event, we went personal development, convention, etc., and I'm connecting with this group of people that are from Mexico. Now, I begin to start editing myself. Like, I am making myself be someone that I'm not, because I'm afraid that they will judge me. Like, they won't like me. They'll think, I don't know, I just made up a story, right? I was afraid of their opinion of me, of the true me, of who I really am. Have you ever had this happen? Like, you're relating with this? I know you do, because we're all human and we've all done this before. So I start to edit myself, and I start to feel fear and shame about who I am. And in that moment, because it's a personal development conference, right? So I should be a little bit more aware after that. I thought to myself, okay, what if? What is the absolute worst thing that can happen from me continuing to not be who I am? Like, what's the worst thing that could come from me continuing to believe and be worried about their opinion of me? What's the worst thing that would occur if I never showed up how I know I can or how I desire to? In that, this happened really quickly because it was in my head during a conversation, and I thought, wow, the worst thing is that I could miss out. Like, I could miss out on their friendship. I could miss out on a really huge connection. I could miss out on, finding friendship. I could miss out on actually, one of the worst things was I could betray myself. Like, I could betray myself. That to me was the worst thing, that I'd betray who I am by pretending to be somebody that I'm not, and that goes against my values of authenticity. So if I say I'm an authentic person, that means that ultimately I kind of can't care about what other people think. I mean, I can respect it. However, I don't need it to hinder me or to create some sort of block or some sort of story that keeps me afraid and keeps me disconnected from others. So in that moment, I tell them, I'm like, okay, I just voice it because I was feeling, I don't know, I just had this crazy moment of bravery, I guess. And I just said, I'm really afraid to tell you guys something. Have you ever done that? You just like, all of a sudden you just say something and you're like, wait, what? That sounded so crazy. Yeah, all of a sudden I just said, I'm so afraid to tell you this. And I have to tell you this, and I'm really afraid to. And now they're super interested. They're like, could you just tell us? And all of this was in Spanish, FYI. And I just tell them, I'm like, I have this story that you're going to reject me because I'm not like Mexican American. I'm not 100% Mexican. I lived in Ecuador for a year. I've lived in Mexico for about 6 months. That was the longest stretch I've ever lived there. And I have this fear that you're going to reject me because I'm not like you, because I come from a different place or was born in a different country, and I want to be friends and I want to do things with you, and I want to coach, teach, do events in Mexico. Imagine a scale, okay? Now, on the one side, remember we said that questions unlock breakthroughs. So the question I asked myself was not what are they going to think about me or why aren't they going to like me? I didn't focus on that question anymore, okay? The question I focused on is what am I going to lose out on by not showing up as I really am? Or what do I stand to lose by continuing to believe this fear that they're not going to like me? That paradigm shift changed everything. And from that moment, I was free. And I began to share, and we had an amazing connection. Everything that we desire is on the other side of fear. Isn't that fun? Right? So if you ask yourself the right question to shift it and to create a new perspective, then you can be free in an instant from that old story that was holding you back. Here's the thing. You are worth it. You're brave. And the world needs your story. They need you to show up fully as you are. Because when we do that, we give permission to everybody else around us to do the same. And I know that's what you want to do. That's actually why you're on earth, is to help other people rise, to help other people be lifted up by you first, lifting your own self up. So tell me how you're doing it. How are you working through the fear of the opinions of others? How have you done it? How are you going to do it? What questions do you ask yourself to unlock the cage that binds us in fear? Let me know. I'm super curious. I would love to hear your comments. And as always, share this video. Share it with somebody who's struggling with this, because just this one little shift could change everything for them. Ring the bell, turn on those notifications, and I can't wait to see you next time.